The old maps called it the Blackwater Billabong, but the local folks just called it the Murk. My great-granddad, Arthur, was one of the first settlers to try and tame that land. He was a stubborn man, full of pride, who thought the world was his for the taking. The Aboriginal elders tried to warn him. They spoke of a spirit, ancient and hungry, that slept beneath the black water. They told him the land was not to be disturbed, that the silence of the swamp was a warning, not an invitation. Arthur just laughed. He built his small cabin a stone's throw from the water's edge, where the reeds grew thick as a wall, and the air was heavy with the smell of decay and wet earth. For the first few weeks, the only sounds were the chirping of crickets and the croaking of frogs. Then, one night, the sounds stopped. All of them. The air became thick, heavy, and utterly silent. Arthur stood on his porch, listening to the nothingness, a cold dread creeping up his spine. That's when he saw it for the first time. 2 points of dim, yellow light glowing just beneath the surface of the water, watching him. The next morning, one of his sheep was gone. All he found was a trail of dragged wool leading to the water's edge, and a single massive 3-toed footprint pressed deep into the mud. The following week, 2 more sheep vanished. This time, he found parts of them snagged and the reeds flesh torn, bones snapped clean. The bite marks were unlike anything he'd ever seen. The elder's words echoed in his mind, but his pride was a fortress. He loaded his rifle and decided he would hunt whatever was taking his livestock. He spent days patrolling the billabong. The silence was his constant companion, broken only by the buzzing of flies that seemed to follow him. He felt eyes on him constantly, a suffocating pressure from the water, the reeds, the ancient paperbark trees. He started having nightmares, drowning in black, viscous water, pulled down by something with slimy skin and a grip like steel. He'd wake up gasping, the sound of wet, ragged breathing echoing in his cabin, even though he was alone. One evening, as dusk bled into a moonless night, a thick fog rolled in from the water, swallowing the landscape. Arthur was by the bank, checking his traps, when he heard a soft splash. He turned, rifle raised. The water rippled, but nothing was there. Then, from the reeds to his left, came a sound. A deep, gurgling breath, followed by a low moan. It was horribly, unsettlingly human. His blood ran cold. The yellow eyes appeared again, closer this time, wide and unblinking. They rose slowly from the water, and he saw the silhouette of a massive, dark head, slick with mud and weeds. A roar shattered the silence. It wasn't the sound of any animal he knew. It was a symphony of rage and pain, the shriek of a man mixed with the bellow of a beast. He stumbled back, fumbling with his rifle. A long, distorted limb, covered in dark fur and ending in hooked claws, shot out of the water and slammed into the bank just inches from his feet, gouging deep furrows in the earth. He fired blindly into the fog. The roar intensified, and the massive shape slid back beneath the surface, leaving only churning black water behind. Arthur ran. He didn't stop until the walls of his cabin were around him, the door barred shut. He spent the night huddled in a corner, listening to the wet, dragging sounds circling his home, listening to the scraping of claws against the wood, listening to the guttural breathing just outside his window. He survived until dawn. When the sun rose, he packed a single bag and fled, never looking back. He abandoned the land, the cabin, everything. He lived the rest of his life, a haunted man, his hands always trembling, his eyes always scanning the nearest body of water. He never spoke much about what happened, but he told my father this: some places don't belong to us. And if you listen closely to the silence, you'll hear the land itself telling you to leave. Because the things that sleep in the deep, dark places of the world are best left undisturbed. They are ancient, they are hungry, and they are always, always watching. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more tales from the shadows. Stay safe out there,